Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In previous session we learned about basic functions, basic numeric functions, operator functions and logical functions. So this time in this session we will learn somewhat advanced functions. So those are mostly comprised with sum is, count is, this kind of functions. So let's start the session. So when take a new Google Sheet, this is how the new Google Sheet looks like, as you all know. So let's take some numbers with two arrays. Let's say it's 1. Just copy it. So first we'll start with SUMIF. So SUMIF is a function which is both mixture of sum and if. As you know, in if you give a criteria, and if the criteria follows, we'll give a value if it's true and if it's false. While sum if is in this which we'll give a certain range and a criteria and then a sum range. So let's check. Let's say you take this sum, comma, you'll say type the whatever the criteria you want in a first switch, so that gives it the Google Sheet thinks that it's a criteria. I'll give it's greater than 10, comma, and now I'll select this range. Click, it gives 70. Now here, if you see, the criteria we gave is greater than 10. So if you think greater than 10, then coming here, if you add last 5, if you add these 5, then you must get 65. Then if you check here, and if you check in the second array here, then you just get 81, but you got 70. Why? It's nothing but it's basically just take, since here if you check it, here is the, let's take the formula. Here we give range, criteria and sum range 3. So first range I gave here, so it checks the criteria with this range and it checks these 5 cells have values greater than 10. Then I gave sum range this, so since these 5 have greater than value 10, it counts these 5 values. Since these 12 to 16 row values in the B column, it counts these values. So whatever you give, the criteria range and sum range are both different. So since this is how it multiplies, this is how it gives the sum range. Then there is also a function COUNTIF. It's the same, but COUNTIF as SUMIF doesn't have a sum range. It just has give it and just say greater than 10. Since I gave just 10, it counts just 10. If I give greater than 10, it gives me 5. If I say less than 10, it gives me 9 values. Same as sum if you have other called. Now, since in last session we know about if, now we have to know about ifs. Ifs is basically another one which gives, based on the condition you give, it gives the value. Let's say if you take a certain cell and give, if it's greater than 10, comma, you have to give some value, give 1. Once again a comma, once again B7 is this time less than 10, then give 2. it gives 2. So here there is 2. You give 10 or 11. If you give 11, then it gives 1. So by checking this value, if we give that, then it will be how it will give. Let's say if you give once again, if you change the formula, like let's go here, go click B7 equal to 10, then give 0. So make B7 10, it gives 0. So using if condition, we can add as many as conditions you want, and you can get a different value for every condition it satisfies. So after count ifs, after if you have next, you can even do sum ifs. So see, so using this, let's say for this we might need some more arrays. Let's take like this 4 arrays. Here we'll start it with 3. Here we'll start it with 3. And we will reset this value. So here it is. Next, here is sum ifs. First we have to check the sum range. Let's check this is the sum range. Next we have to take every range and the criteria for it. If you have any doubt, click here, check. Next I'll check criteria range here, comma, greater than 10. Next time I'll give it click here, comma, greater than 12. Next I'll click here and they'll give a range greater than 13. Let's give greater than 14 here. So now it gave 51. How? What are the values it multiplied? Just took 16, 17 and 18 because it checked first the criteria greater than 10. So it takes this file value. Next we give greater than 12. So it just takes this file value. Next we give greater than 14 for this row. So it just takes these 3 rows. The values in the column with these 3 rows will just get added. Using this you have count ifs. So for everything, every function you have count ifs. If you want count ifs have the same function, you can have a criteria range 1, criterion 1 and criteria range 2, criteria 2, but this time it just takes here itself. Take a criteria, give it greater than 10. Next take another criteria, give greater than 11. Take another criteria, give it greater than 15. Come on. And take another criteria, give it greater than 16. So in the end, it just for every criteria it counts and last, which is the last value, it gives just 16 because these 2 are ones that left here. Let's say if I change it to 10, then this has just two values, so it just give two values, which is the least value, just use it. 14 it give 3. So next if you take 10, you'll get 5 values. This time these two are the least values which have 5, so count gives just 5, it just counts that 5 rows. So next we take count A formula. What is count A and how it is different from count? Now let's take these two values. Yeah, we got value 8. Now let's take the count and take the same values. It gives 4. See, if you check both, it's the same range but the value differ, because here count A counts every cell, whether it's a text or in value, numerical value. All that it needs is that the cell is filled with something, while count, it only counts the numerical values in the cell. So this is the difference between count A and count if. If you want count text, then you can use count A easily. So now since we check if and if A, then while doing this kind of big set, sometimes there might be errors. Let's say if you are using a1 plus 1 by 0, you'll get a lots of errors. Every error, so remove this and the error changes. Let's say somewhere around here I gave 0, so go here. If you can use here a formula called if error. If there is an error, comma, so what it does is, first you have to give a value, and value if error, if there is an error you have to give a value, get you 0. So now just copy this formula down. So let's go here and we add a 0. So what here, if you see what it does, it just gave, since it's an error, it gave a value 0 here. From next onwards, since there is a 0 here, it counted 1, 2, 3. So you lost the error, right? And there is another function called if NA, which is also useful for the same thing. Give a 1 by 0, comma, if error 0. Let's say if you use if NA, you are getting another error. So this is the difference between both of these. So sometimes when you are using some functions, you will get an NA error. So so when you get an NA error, if you use if NA, it works perfectly fine. It's just for NA error. But for whatever remaining error, if you use if NA, it will still show error. But if error is not like that, any kind of error, if error is used for any kind of error, and you can remove that error in your data set. But the problem is if error consists of every error, so sometimes when you type a formula wrong, let's say if you give something wrong, or if you take some wrong reference, or if you type the formula wrong, then it shows some kind of error, like it shows a hash name error. So since this is not a big error, this is not the fault of your dataset, this is your own fault, you made a mistake somewhere. So by checking it, you can change and this error will be gone. But if you use an if error formula, then this error, it also resolves this error and gives whatever the value is set. If it's 0, it gives 0. So to avoid this, you can avoid this using if NA, because mostly of big data sets you will only get NA errors since you are searching for something. If you have any other errors, then you can use if error, but you have to be wary that you must not do any mistakes in that form. So That's it for this session. In next session, we'll look at some more advanced functions. So please go through this video once again and attempt the quiz in our website to get a better understanding of this topic. Thank you.